I told Mr. Stewart himself, let's just get to it. First
How
of
you doing?
all, a congratulations on the Golden Globe nominations, the Critic Choice nomination,
Thank
season
you.
four. Like,
Mhm.
what's happening? What is going on? Because, like, the Diplomat team is literally on fire right now. How are you feeling?
Yes.
How do you feel being a part of like such a successful project?
I'm still pinching myself on that because I've been a TV fan for a long time. I've been a movie fan for a long time, and we all have our favorite series we've seen. And I've always, I've always wanted to be a part of something that people go, "Oh, when's the next season coming out? Oh, when that happened," and blah 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 blah. And I realized that I am on a show like that where people are like watching it with real attention and then going, damn, what happened in the last season? You know what I mean? So like I'm a part of a show like that, so I can die now. I'm not going to, but I can die now.
Me, I heard somewhere that you said this is literally the best writing that you have ever seen or you've seen thus far in your
Hmm.
career. Like, what do you think it is? Like, do you feel like it is the art of the craft, right?
Hmm.
Whatever. Or
Hmm.
do you feel like it's the timing of where like we are as a society? Like,
Mm.
what do you think is happening there?
I think it's a combination of both things, but I think in particular, Deborah Kahn and the writers have a real sort of sense of human relationships, the subtleties of humanity. And so what the diplomat represents is it's how, intimate relationships between two people or a family are no different from the relationships between countries. They're just exploded examples of those intimacies and so forth. And so when she juxtaposes the intimate relationships with the relationships between two superpowers or two countries, then you see how much humanity is in the global sort of story that we've all been telling. And I think that's what is makes it all compelling. It's like these are real people trying to handle real situations on a global scale. And it's no different than high school.
That's so true. And what would you say is
Yeah.
most compelling about your character, Stuart? And how are you feeling about like his storyline, just in
Hmm.
general, like and how his storyline continues to evolve like season over season over season? How are you feeling about that?
I love it because there's an evolution there, I would say. And I've always been saying that from the beginning from season one, I think Stewart was an idealist, an
Yeah.
optimist. He saw the world that there is a possibility to have a perfect world. And Kate is this perfect person who could be a perfect vice president and then a president, right? And now, as things are sort of unraveling, there's way more nuance. There's way more choices that he has to make based on the choices that Kate is making. And they're not always, in his mind, the best choices, the most ideal choices, because there's no such thing as perfection. And so he is falling apart on a way because he's learning about the real way the world works. And I think that from Stewart's perspective as a character in the show, he is the representative of the reality of what happens to people when they are working at that high level. Like you're seeing the sort of full evolution and him learning about how the world actually works.
Yeah, where are we going season four? Like, what can you distill or tease? Otto, you got to give me something. Just give me just a little bit. Just give me a little something. Like, as I believe filming has started. What
Hmm.
you
Yes,
guys
yes.
give me something?
I mean, look, we've had 3 seasons of
Yeah.
Deborah Kahn giving us page turner after page turner after page turner. So I'm gonna say that more pages are gonna get turned.
Okay.
Uh, for Stewart, there's a real I don't know how to say this without revealing anything. But I think that Stewart is going through a really interesting journey about the choices that he now has to make based on all the stuff that happened in season three with Rayburn and with Kate and all of that stuff. What do you do with a broken heart, and how do you mend that broken heart? And so that's as that's as close as I can get to you. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you turn the page because I want to keep my job
Yeah.
and Netflix will not let me work if I tell you what's going to happen. So
I
that's what's going to
understand. I totally understand. Like, what are you personally doing as an actor and just
happen.
as a human to
Hmm.
really lean into your character, to really like truly slip on the socks in the shoes of Stuart? Because I mean, like
Hmm.
you're doing, and I listen, it may sound cliche, and I'm sure you've been hearing this since season
Hmm.
one. You're doing such an impeccable job,
Oh, wow.
like depicting this character. Like,
Hmm.
what does that journey look like for you personally?
Mm. Well, personally, for me, I would say the thing that I'm learning right now is that the important thing to be as a human being is not just alive, but present. And so being present with my fellow actors and the story, being present with Ali On, being present with Carrie Russell, and listening to what their characters are doing, and then seeing how I respond to that as if it was actually me. That's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I'm trying to represent as Stuart, because all of these people, as high level as that, as the level at which they are working in the foreign service, they're still just people.
Yeah,
They're still putting on socks. They're still wondering what's tie to wear. They still have to go to the bathroom when the meeting is going on. You know what I mean? And they still have to make these decisions that really affect the entire planet. But they are people. They are tired sometimes. They sometimes don't know what to say. They sometimes are scared. And that's what I'm trying to represent as Stewart.
so I'm one that believe two things can exist at one time:
Hmm.
seriousness and fun. And the show is
Yes.
clearly very realistic. It's very intense,
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
serious.
Hmm.
I'm interested to hear like whether that's on set, whether that's at home or at a coffee shop when you're reading the scripts and preparing to
Hmm.
step into, filming the next scene. Like, where does
Hmm.
the fun come into this project at? Like, what's that energy like on set?
You would be surprised if you came to set. We are a bunch of clowns.
I
There is
love
not
it.
one serious person on that dang set.
Are you
Everybody is
serious?
everybody's a clown.
Oh, I love
Everybody's a
it.
clown. And it's so funny because we'll be clowning, 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 then action. Then suddenly we're talking about Iran. Do you know what I mean? And I think that you need to let that
Yeah,
stuff go. If you're coming in serious and you come in and this is going to be the scene, it's going to be stiff. It's not going to work.
yeah,
But when you let things go, which is about being present and alive, when you let it go, then you can be in that liminal space where you're like, oh, this is affecting me in a real way, not in
yeah.
that fake way. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bunch of goofy people. There's not one person that you've talked to, as serious as they might be in this in whatever interview that you're doing. Clown, 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 clown.
I love it. Like, so, okay, so clearly we're embarking upon season four and whatsoever
Hmm.
capacity that may be. Listen, y'all,
Hmm.
because I don't want to give me a little bit here. Okay. But has there been like, which episode, scene, or season would you say challenged you the most thus far?
Mm, mm. Season three was a whole challenge for me.
Really?
Um, yeah, only because what happens to Stewart, the aftermath of him almost dying and all of that stuff, but also because of what happened to him, I always say he got kicked out of the cool kids club. Right. He came in season one in the know. I know that we're trying to make her the vice president and all that stuff. And then suddenly he finds himself on the outside. He finds himself on the outside of his own relationship with Idra on some level. He finds himself on the outside of in the workplace.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel good for anybody. And so if I'm being real about it, that's what I'm trying to bring into that season about like I want to be a part of the group. I want to be a part of the group. Why aren't you all like talking to me? Why aren't you all letting me know what's going on? And so that was rough for me just as a person because I want to be a cool kid.
And I think pulling from the fact that you mentioned you want to be brought into something, like, is there
Hmm.
any ad-libbing going on at all, like between any of these scenes? Like, do you, as a cast member, as Stuart, have any say when it comes to like a particular storyline, a particular scene, or is everything just like written and produced so impeccably, like close mouth, like I'm going in with exactly what's on script?
I mean, that's pretty much what I do. And that's what everybody does. I mean, if there's something, that doesn't make sense, we can talk to Deborah and be like, I don't know why that makes sense. And she'll explain it, or she'll go, oh, we missed that. Right. But like everything that is said and done is pretty much what is on the script, because the writing is so good. And I know that I can't write better than that. So there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to be better than whatever Deborah came up with. So I'm going to try to be as letter perfect as possible.
Yeah. So do you know exactly from beginning to end with season 4? I know I just will not let the season
Hmm.
4 thing go.
No, 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 no.
But genuine question, like, do you know where your character, where Stuart is going from beginning to end with season 4 yet? No.
Absolutely not. I've never known anything. Mm-mm.
So with that being said, where would you like to see him go? If you can
Oh,
have your way.
wow. I'll go back to the Cool Kids Club. I would love to see Stewart back in with the rest of the people,
Yeah.
knowing what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? That's if I was actually Stewart, which I am, that's what I would want, because Stewart does have an ambition. He wants at some point to be an ambassador and all that stuff. And so that kind of experience needs somebody who is in the know,
Yeah.
at least in Stewart's mind. So that's where I would like to see Stewart, and having him making some decisions that like affect the show in a way, instead of just sort of receiving all the information. But that's just my own ego.
Okay, prior to
Yeah.
signing up for this, in general,
Hmm.
like, what was your correlation with politics as a whole, Mr.
Hmm.
Otto himself, and
Hmm.
has the trajectory of your relationship or your views on politics changed in any way since being a part of this show?
No, I would say, I mean, I would say my politics, I would say I lean left, and I have no problem saying that. And I lean left because I think that everybody should have a chance. I think there's enough resources in the world that everybody can have a leg up and basically live the life that they want to live. And for me, that seems to be what happens on the left. I'm not saying everything is perfect. Um, the politics of my the show hasn't changed my politics, it's enhanced it to be more in the camp of wanting to be a person who is having those conversations that keep us from fighting each other,
Okay.
because I think that you can get through most things in life without throwing bombs or shooting guns at each other. I think are good enough human beings as people. We understand life enough that we don't have to throw spears at each other. And I think that that's what the Foreign Service does. That's what they're trying to do. And so being involved in a show that represents the Foreign Service, that is one of the highest levels of service that I think you can do, which is basically getting us to get all along, stop dropping bombs. Let's just sit at the table and talk and work things out. And I think that works in intimate relationships. And I think that works between countries and nations and states.
Yeah.
That's me.
No, I love that. Let's
Yeah.
have a little fun really quick. Listen, pulling
Yes.
away from the bomb and the spear.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Such an excellent answer to that question. I really
Mm,
appreciate it.
I appreciate
Out
you.
of the cast, who would you
Mhm.
say is most and least like their character in real life?
Oh, I mean, I would say that Allie is the least like her character,
Okay.
because,
I mean, she has a
yeah,
strong character. So yeah,
yes,
interesting.
Allie is brilliant. She's smart, but she's goofy and funny. And Idra is not goofy and funny.
No, God, no.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Idra is boop. Do you know what I mean? But Allie is not that Idra is not fun, but like Allie is not as serious as Idra, and so that Allie is one of my favorite actors in the world now that I know her, just because I can see what she does and I can see how hard she works. And man, that lady can bring it every time. And of course, I'm the recipient of her generosity and her brilliance. And so, like, it's lovely to watch her craft that character and make such an impact on the show and on everybody who sees her. So yeah, she's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Who
Yeah.
is most like their character?
I My instinct is to say Rufus.
I was literally gonna say, would it be Rufus?
Rufus, yeah. And I would say that he is not diabolical like Hal, because I think
Yeah.
Hal is diabolical, and Hal is a little selfish, which Rufus isn't, but he is like devious. Like there is something always going on in Rufus's mind.
Mhm.
There's a twinkle in his eye that he brings to the Hal character that I go, that's Rufus. Do you know what I mean? Like the humor that he has is he incorporates in Hal. So I would say minus the diabolical, Rufus is as close to Hal as I think the characters are when I think about it, just extemporaneously.
Oh my God. And I know we have to
Yeah.
get ready to wrap, but before I let
Yes.
you go, if you had the
Mhm.
opportunity to flip-flop roles with any of your fellow cast members, like whose role would you want to take on?
Damn. Well, I'd say Rufus because that's the looks like the most fun.
Yeah.
That, Hal gets away with murder.
Yes, he
And
does.
I'm like, that's a lot of fun to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how is like the little brother, like if it's like if a mom
Yeah.
has three sons, the oldest is
Hmm.
the middle child, like the youngest
Hmm.
always tends to get
Hmm.
away with things. Where would you like to see your career go moving forward after the
Mm.
Diplomat, after the 28, 39 seasons that we're gonna get from
Oh wow, that me. I mean, people ask me of that a lot, but I love being a part of a show where it's not just a good show and it's not successful, but it's also a group of people that I like to be around, right? And so I could say, well, I want to star in my own show or I want to do this movie, right? All of that stuff, I guess, is important, but like my purpose is to be present and alive. And so I can't really think of the future like that because it doesn't exist for me. Right now, I can be present in the show that I'm in. And I'm like, this is amazing. If this is where it stops, I have no complaints. Do you know what I mean? And so I would love to be, if, after season 50, I would love to be in a show like The Diplomat that just keeps going. But right now is the present. And the present is the show that I'm on right now, and I love being a part of this show.
I love that. Also, thank you so
Yeah,
much for your
I
time.
appreciate you. Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
on absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm sure
Thank
I
you.
will see you either on the red carpet or
Yeah,
another interview, hopefully face to face in person next go
I
around.
would love that. I would love that.
But thank you so much. I love
Thank
to
you so
talk.
much. You
Talk to
too.
you
You
soon.
too. All right. Peace.